Hello, friends, strangers, random citizens. It's 2022, and you know what that means? It's goal time. Hello, welcome to the Ponderings of Pete. I am Pete, and this is my channel where I talk about books, I talk about fantasy, I talk about sci-fi, I talk about other weird stuff, whether it's nonfiction or other stuff, random stuff. Some classics maybe, as you'll see. The scope is widening. The subscribe button is also a thing, and then there's the bell notification that will notify you as sporadically as YouTube chooses, but that's like the most guaranteed way. What else? Oh, I have a Discord now. That's also linked way down below. Check that out in the description. I don't think I have anything else to say. Let's talk about goals. So 2022 is here. 2021 is gone. Real quick, let's take a look at what I wanted to do in 2021. Most of my goals in 2021 were book related, of course, and I think I'll probably stick to that for the most part. The biggest one was I wanted to finish Malazan, which I did. Came in November. I think I was originally planned to finish Malazan in like July or August, but I took some breaks. Ended up finishing in November, which I'm fine with because I still got to enjoy it. And that was a great and fantastic experience. Thoroughly loved doing that. Some of the other ones, I wanted to start Wheel of Time, which I did, but I didn't get as far as I thought I would. And then that was pretty much it for major series. I think I was going to end. I planned on starting Realm of the Outerlings this year, aka 2022, and I was correct. What else did I decide to do? I believe my goal, I can't remember if I actually said it. My goal was to get to 1,000 subscribers last year, which I did not do for reasons that I have looked into, specifically with me, and I'm trying to improve and stuff like that. Get better videos. You know, I'm not perfect, and YouTube is a learning experience, which is fantastic because I like to learn. Now, I did reach 500 subscribers, which is great. That Q&A is incoming. Editing is still annoying because it's 2 hours long, and it's not going to be 2 hours long when it reaches you. So hopefully I'm shooting for seeing if I can cut it down to an hour, but we'll see. And if it does do an hour, I will split it up into 2 videos. That was pretty much it for 2021 goals. I didn't have very many specifics. I kind of just put it out there at the last minute. I'd only been on the channel for like a few months, so I didn't really know what to do. Even now, I'm not sure what to do. But let's talk about what I want to do in 2022. Thousands of subscribers. Yes, I absolutely want to reach that. Will I get monetized? I don't know. I'd like to get to monetization, but I know the 4,000 hour watch time in a year is definitely hard to get to. I think right now I'm sitting at about a little under 1,000. So I'm at 500, but I'm at 1,000 watch time. So that's interesting. I do want to be a little bit more stats focused, and let me tell you what I mean by that. I do want to keep better track of my TBR, which I keep a really good track of it now, but I just have the titles, and then I have like color-coded things about like, do I own this book? Did I finish this book? Did I not start this book? Yada, yada, yada. But I want to keep a better track of, you know, page count. Let's keep track of page count. Let's just keep track of genre. I've seen some stats on that, and I thought that was cool. So I think I will do that this year. I need to take a day to like revamp my Excel spreadsheet. I think I'll probably keep most of what I have now and then just do a secondary spreadsheet that I complete as needed. That's just pure information, which pure information is fun. I don't know if you know me or not, but I like information. I like data. I'd love to have more data about booktubers. So, but that's a whole nother idea that is germinating. You might hear about that. Hopefully you guys get to see it. What else? I definitely want to do at least one live show a month, if not more, because I do like doing live shows, and I knew that that also syncs with my goal of watch time, because live shows are great for watch time, from what I know. So that's a goal. I think that's about it for the channel stuff. Book-wise, I have a few goals. I think the main goal I have is to read more books that I own, because I do, like, as you know from the book, this video that talks about all the series that I have that I have at least the first book of. I have about 40 different series that I could start based on this. So I think my first thing is I want to finish the series that I can finish. Some of which were not even in this video because I'd already started them, but also see if I can, you know, start tackling some of the series in that video, which I'm definitely not going to get even 10, who knows if I can get started 10% of those series, like 4 series started, we'll see. I got a lot on my plate. Finishing series for certain. I know it's a classical booktuber goal, but let's talk about which series specifically I want to finish. I think the first one is Senlin Ascends. I read the first one but I've been putting off getting the second one for a while. I have the second one. I still have to buy the third and fourth one, but I'm really excited for this one. I really want to get to it. Roughly, I am planning on getting back to that in April of this year. So April, May, June, finishing up with Fall of Babel in June. So that's the current plan for that one. The next one is the 5th season, which is Broken Earth Trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. That one I am starting this month. Probably at the end of this month is when I'll read the first one. But that is January, February, March. Hopefully that'll take care of that. And after that, 9 Fox Gambit. I'm just going to rapid fire through these things. You guys will hear more about them. If you want to know a lot more about them, let me know down in the Discord. Let me know in the comments, like whatever. If you have questions, let me know. I'll tell you what I know about them. But 9 Fox Gambit, that is is it Machineries of Empire series? Or am I getting things mixed up? I think the issue is the 9 Fox Gambit is in the Machineries of Empire series, but there's another series that's actually, I think, Aztec sci-fi called Machineries of Empire, which is super confusing. They're not the same thing. But 9 Fox Gambit is super dope, from what I've heard. That is, I think, is going to come in April. That's another one I've been super excited. It's a sci-fi series. 2 I have not entirely pinned down where in this TBR I'm going to put are Fires of Vengeance and Son of a Lich, which are both sequels. One is the sequel. First is the sequel to Rage Dragon. The second is the sequel to Orconomics, which is a self-publish. We're not going to talk about that question from Jeopardy, but it's fine. Another one I want to finish is Powder Mage by Brian McClellan. Started this one a while back. Was okay about it. I didn't exactly love it, but I thought it was okay. I also will probably read the novellas that I know exist around this. I have that slated for July and August, but I might extend that out. So I do July Powder Mage to August do the novellas, and then September do Powder Mage 3. And then after that, who knows? I might actually get into the Gods of Powder, I think it is, series. That's the prequel that I've heard is a lot better. So I kind of just want to get that original trilogy done so I can say I'm done with it, get it done, and have that little dopamine of completion in my brain going, because dopamine is great. Next one, Riria Chronicles. This is a buddy cop one. Theft of Swords is the first bind up of the first 2. I believe it's only technically 6 stories, but 3 bind ups. I could be wrong, but I have the first 3. I have the 3 bind ups at the very least. I read Theft of Swords not in December 2022, but December of 2020, not 2021, over a year ago. And I'd like to continue that. I just never made it a priority. So here it is. I think that's in September right now. Might move. What else? Future's Birth by S.J. Saunders. I am going to get to the rest of that. I read the first one third quarter of last year, and it's pretty good. And I have the other 5. So after I finish the Fred series, I am going to tackle that as kind of like an ongoing self-published series that I can have going. And then, I might slip in some new releases from authors that I'm looking forward to if they, happen to release in 2022. So look out for that. Excuse me for looking at my notes, but there's a bunch of names and there's the TBR and everything like that. Other things, Lady Trent, Natural History of Dragons. Read the first one of that. Loved it. Oh my gosh. So Jane Austen, Indiana Jones, craziness. I want to read the other ones. I think there's like 5 other ones. I have the next 2. So that's going to be another priority for next year at some point. What else? Jane Austen. That's another priority. I have like 3 other Jane Austen novels that I haven't read. Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, and Mansfield Park. And then I'd love to read more. So I like Jane Austen's writing style, and so I want to read more. So that's something I want to do. I'm debating about rereading LPQ, The Long Price Quartet. I loved it so much. I think it deserves a reread. So if you want to buddy read Long Price Quartet, let me know, because I'll buddy read it with you. Star Wars. Let's talk about Star Wars. So I am about to finish the first Star Wars book that I want to read this year, which was Lesser Evil by Timothy Zahn, which is the 3rd of the Thrawn Ascendancy trilogy. Starting next month, I'm going to start The Bounty Hunter Wars, which is a trilogy set around episode 6. It's kind of weird. Possibly. We'll see. I don't know exactly the time frame. After I finish Bounty Hunter Wars, I think I'm going to get on with the Han Solo trilogy, because that's on my list. I mean, I have a giant, you can see part of the stacks. There's more. There's more down there. I have a Zahn stack somewhere around. There's plenty. And then after that, there's a bunch of short story collections called the Tales of. There's the Tales of Mos Eisley Cantina, Tales of the New Republic, Tales of the Bounty Hunters, Tales from Jabba's Palace. I think I have 4 of the 5, but I'm going to tackle those after that. So that's my Star Wars plans for right now, unless some big new release kind of upsets that, which is unlikely because I think they're still in the High Republic and I'm not caught up with that. We got Malazan, we got Realm of the Everlings. So Malazan, I'm not going to do a full, I'm doing a reread, but I'm doing more. So I'm not just rereading Malazan Book of the Fallen. I'm actually incorporating the Ian C. Esselmont books and Stephen Erickson's other books. So I'm doing all of the Malazan books, which is going to be great. I'm starting with Dancer's Lament this month, and I'm excited to get back into that. Next, we also have Realm of the Everlings, which I mentioned before, and I mentioned a few times. Doing a buddy read. It's on both my channel and my Discord has some channels for it. And then, of course, it's mainly on Gregory the Purchase Discord, which I will link down below if you want to join us there. Doing the first 3 trilogies this year, and then doing the quartet and the final trilogy next year to finish it out, which will be great. We're taking about a month break between each series. I've already loved the first book. Looking forward to the next ones. And then finally, let's talk about some weird books. So this is going to be the year of weird books. I think last year I was calling them like expansive books or whatever, some weird hoity-toity thing. But this year I'm just going to call them weird books because that's what I'm reading. I think last year I read like the Communist Manifesto and some things that I was like, okay, let's start thinking. And that's still the thought process and trying to expand what I read. But this time it's just I want to read weird things. I'm starting with Infinite Jest, which is really weird. But I guess I feel like I'm reading it differently now. I'm reading it more analytically and I'm catching the patterns more. It's super trippy. I'll talk about it after I finish it. For certain in 3 months. I just have to put my thoughts together and just like, whew. It's going to be a lot, guys. The next one I want to read is House of Leaves, which is like this weird layer upon layer upon layer of narrative in some sort of mystery. About all I know, some people have called it weirdly horror, but then my friend who read it is like, it's a vibe, but it's not horror. So I'm expecting it to be mildly creepy, essentially. So that's next, which is going to be interesting. Another one that I heard about, I haven't looked into yet, so it's in my plans for the 3rd quarter, but I'm not sure if I'm actually going to read it because I don't know what it's about yet. But it's probably going to be this, Books of Jacob, or it's Books of Jacob. I don't actually know which, but evidently it's weird. So I'm going to take it a look-see, might actually read this. And then the very last one is something by J.J. Abrams that was written by him and some other guy. But it's the Ship of Theseus. I love the Ship of Theseus concept, especially because of that one Marvel reference to the Ship of Theseus. Just that psychological concept of, hey, if you have a ship called the Ship of Theseus, and you replace one board, is it still the same ship? Of course. If you replace all the boards, and everything is brand new, but it's the same shape and everything like that, and you gradually replace it, it's still the same ship as it started. Great psych you out problem. So I don't know if it has anything to do with that, but I know there's some weird writing styles. So weird writing styles, here I come. That is all the thoughts for my channel goals and my book goals for this year. Kind of a rough TBR to start. Thank you for watching. Thanks for getting this far, guys. And remember that you are awesome, especially for getting this far, and get some rest because rest is super important, guys.